This is elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich for Aging Options. Every week on Saturdays from 10 to noon, I take 2 hours of my time to talk to you about aging issues. Why do I do that? And why should you even pay attention to this show? The reality in America is that majority of us would want to conduct our life later in years so that we never, ever end up worrying about going broke. We never have to worry about being institutionalized, and we don't become a burden on our children. Now, that may be a goal for most people, but the reality is somewhat different. Many people are going to end up going broke paying for uncovered medical and long-term care expenses, particularly if your estate happens to be a small to medium-sized estate, which is anywhere between $200,000 to $1.5 million. Nursing home stays today range between $10,000 to $12,000 a month, and if you had to pay these costs yourself out of your pocket, in a big hurry, many of the estates are going to lose all the oomph. The second issue about our strong desire as members of this society to avoid institutional care, the hope to be able to age in our own home all the way to the end. Well, the reality is majority of us are unable to accomplish that goal because when incapacity strikes, physical or mental, either way, someone has Alzheimer's, someone has a stroke, and they cannot take care of their own needs, we are, as a society, equipped to deal with such incapacity issues in nursing homes, in assisted living facilities, in adult family homes, in boarding homes, and many of us end up moving to these places, even though it is entirely possible for many of us in institutional care settings to access the same care at home. And the last thing that we hope for is that we conduct our life in such a way so that we never end up becoming a burden on others. And the reality is, if you have a family, if you have a spouse or children, and if you have to deal with incapacity issues, you are going to involve your family members. Life is a family issue. Your family likely are not going to leave you on the roadside thinking, well, Dad's got Alzheimer's, we don't need to be involved in his life anymore. Well, they will get involved. The question is, what kind of planning did you do to allow them not to be so involved that your needs become a burden on them? Those are the issues that we talk about. And when we talk about these issues, recognize that you cannot just simply look to an attorney and say the attorney will give me all the answers. You cannot just go down and say, I've done all my financial planning and I've got a house, I've got about $700,000 in cash, and that should see life through. Well, that is the hope that life will go through, but it's not the reality for most of the people. You have to do multiple things and get them right at the same time. And what you have to get right is you have to have a good medical team that will help you prolong good health and prevent illnesses. Next, you need to go ahead and have a housing plan. What does that look like? If you want to stay in your own home, then you have to make sure that you have all the things necessary to be able to access care in your own house, that your house is equipped to be able to access the care. You want to make sure that your financial picture is such that you're not spending any more money than you have to, and more importantly, that your children understand what is the wisest way for the money to be used to allow you to stay at home and give you the highest quality of life. And lastly, after you've done all of that other planning, then you need to focus on the legal issues and incorporate things like the Safe Harbor Trust, care management provisions, which will allow your children to be able to protect your assets from uncovered medical and long-term care costs to the extent it is legal to do so, and have the guidance to help you age in a way that is benevolent and that will fulfill whatever your hopes were. That is the reason why you want to listen to Aging Options. It is a message you're not going to find too many other places.